Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Top Talk. I'm your host, Rick, with the Bestop marketing team. And today, what I'm going to be talking about is the summer combo, is what some people call it, but the combination of a bikini, windjammer, and duster, and using that as, I would say, close to a full soft top. And I'm going to show you how it's installed on my LJ or TJD Wrangler, but it's going to be pretty similar to the other options we offer for all of the other Jeep models, including JL, JK, even YJ and CJ. So it should apply if you're looking at this setup for any one of those Wranglers. Okay, one thing important to note here is that this is not a full soft top. It is designed to be used in drier weather or in drier areas of the country. We're here in Colorado, so I can run this, I feel, a good portion of the year. I ran this combination a good part of the summer last year and really enjoyed it. You can change the configuration depending upon what you're doing that day pretty easily, whether you want to take the windjammer down, which is something I like to do on a regular basis to get a better airflow, or take the bikini off and have a sunroof overhead. So it's pretty versatile. It doesn't have windows. It's not watertight, so keep that in mind. There will be a likelihood of water coming in through certain areas. So with that said, I'm going to show you now how this all operates and go put it on my LJ Wrangler. So I highly recommend you lay out your bikini or soft top, depending upon what you're installing, in the sun like you see here on some grass, and it makes it a lot easier to install. Okay, so today we are working on my 2004 LJ Wrangler, and I will be installing a safari bikini on the top, a windjammer behind the front seats, and a duster deck cover on the back. And the way that I'm going to go about this is that I'm going to put the hardware on for the header, which is what I have in my hand here, and then I'm going to do the door surrounds, which you don't necessarily need door surrounds, but I do recommend it. We do sell that independently as a kit, but the bikini will work by wrapping around the roll bar on the TJ at least, but I recommend using door surrounds. And then once we get the door surrounds on, we'll move on to putting the bikini on itself, the windjammer, and then the duster and the tailgate bar. Okay, so once you get this clamped down, you can see there's a channel right here that will allow the bikini to tuck into. You want to make sure you don't tuck it in to a gap that might be created underneath here. You want to make sure it goes into this channel right here. One other trick when you're bolting your clamps down, especially on a TJ, is to make sure you keep forward pressure on it, like you see here, while you're bolting it down so it doesn't roll backwards. Okay, so up next I'm going to install what are called door surrounds. This is actually the one for the other side of the vehicle, but what this does is create a door frame and a place for the bikini to grab onto, as well as a channel for the windjammer. Using a wraparound windjammer like I'm going to do, you want to have this channel here. These are available separately, like I mentioned, or this one came off of a Trek top. You can use one off of a factory top, super top, any kind of TJ door surround will work for that. Okay, so now that I have the correct side on, you want to make sure this post drops right into the hole that it's supposed to, and that you get these clamps locations lined up. Give it a little tap like that, and then you're going to grab your knobs. Make sure that they thread all the way down through. Sometimes it helps if you have side steps like this to stand up and look down in here and line them up. Okay, that one's nice and tight. I'm going to do the other side now. Okay, so now that I got my door surrounds installed, you can see it creates a door frame to have the door shut into. It keeps your doors from rattling, which is nice as well. But like I said, you don't need to use them. But what I have now is a safari bikini, and what you want to look for is this retainer across the front that is going to go into that front edge I was just showing you, and the rear is going to be secured by a number of straps, and I'll show you how to do that now. Okay, so I like to lay the fabric out on the top here, kind of how it's going to be oriented. Don't worry too much about the back right now, it's kind of all about the front. You want to work front to back. So what I'm doing is making sure that I'm pretty even from side to side, and then I'm going to tuck in the middle and work to the outside on either side. Okay, so now I got it like kind of in the channel. It's not going to be all the way in. It needs to have some pressure coming from the back. So I'm going to hop in here and secure the center strap that wraps around the footman loop in the front to give it some pressure, and then I'll continue to work its way into the channel. Make sure you go around your roll bar with this so that it pulls back and gives you some tension. It just slips under the footman loop just like that. And it doesn't need to be too tight right now, just providing a bit of tension so that the channel stays in. You can go ahead and tuck in these door surround retainers as well. They just tuck in kind of like a normal soft top does. And make sure you tuck in there's going to be some excess fabric here from the optional roll bar loops or flaps, we'll call them. If you're not using door surrounds, you would wrap them around the roll bar. Okay, so now I'm going to start attaching some of the other rear straps. They're pretty easy to do. Just make sure you follow the instructions. So this one isn't as tight as it should be because typically it's supposed to go under a rear seat belt bolt, I should say, and I don't have that in right now, so this is going to be a little looser back here than it normally would. Okay, so now I'm going to attach my Windjammer here. It's a little bit wet from the humidity in the grass, I guess, but I'm going to start with the upper straps that wrap around the top of the roll bar up here, and then I'm going to work out to the side retainers out here that tuck onto the door surrounds on the side. Okay, so once you get all the straps up there loosely secured, you're going to want to start tucking in your door surround retainers. It's going to be a little tight for sure, which is why we were leaving them in the sun for a while. And these straps will secure in here. Okay, so you can see the wraparound Windjammer does a good job of closing up this gap right here, which is typically where you would get the most water coming into the vehicle. Standard Windjammer would only go to here, and therefore leaving a bit of a gap right here. So wraparound Windjammer, good way to go, but does require the door surrounds. Okay, so I just finished getting that wraparound Windjammer on. Now what I'm going to do is put on a duster deck cover, which is basically a tonneau cover for the rear here. And first I'm going to start with the tailgate clips. Since I took my hardtop off, I don't have my tailgate clips here anymore. And I'm going to put them on right now. Okay, so you want to make sure you orient these correctly on a TJ so that the lip is hanging out that way, but they're also marked left and right. So when you're tightening these down, these do not need to be that tight. They just need to be kind of tight. Okay, the next step in installing this duster is locate the rear where there's a, we'll call it a tube kind of strip here that the tailgate retainer is going to attach to. And you want to make sure you orient this the right way. It's kind of tricky, but basically you want the seal pointed down like this, and so you slide it on appropriately. Just get it kind of lined up like that. Throw the fabric in the back of the Jeep, and then line up the tailgate bar like that, and you can pop it into place. So if you know you have it right, if you have the seal, this rubbery strip here, pointed down, so the tailgate's going to shut against that. I'm going to work from back to front, tucking the retainers in along the side of the vehicle, and go back and forth on either side. And this is why I left it out in the sun for a while, because this is going to be very tight. And the extra heat helps to make it a little more pliable. Okay, so now that I got all the sides tucked in, I'm going to just wrap these Velcro retainers here around the roll bar. They don't need to be tight or anything. They're just kind of to close it up from dust and water and stuff. And make sure to tuck in back here as well. All right, and you are set to go. Well, that wraps up today's episode. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that this clears up some of the non-soft top options that we offer that can be used in conjunction to be pretty close to a full soft top and offer a different look and some different functionality than you would typically get out of a soft top. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or send us a message through social media, and we can definitely help you out. So thank you for joining me as always, and you guys keep it real out there.